बहुत लोग हमें ये सवाल पूछते हैं कि सेलिब्रिटीज क्या करते हैं। यूजुअली वो ट्रांसप्लांट करते हैं या नॉन सर्जिकल हेयर रिप्लेसमेंट जैसे पैचेस पहनते हैं। हम जरूर आज एक टेक्निक शेयर करेंगे।
Usually when you do a transplant, it all depends on how much hair do you have in the donor's area. Though we make these very thin, natural looking hair systems which are very thin and natural looking from the front, still the maintenance becomes a little difficult for you guys. Now we do a lot of this designing wherein we count the number of strands that we are implanting in the transplanted area. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to do the hairline transplant. Now a lot of times people get confused that whether they should do a transplant full head or they should do a patch or they should do a combination. So keep in mind, a combination in such case is always the best option. I'll explain the reason why. Because usually when you do a transplant, it all depends on how much hair do you have in the donor's area. Now when the donor's area is weak, we need the back area. If you don't have enough hair, you cannot cover such a large area with only transplant. Also, if you just do the non-surgical hair replacement, your hairline will always trouble you because though we make these very thin, natural looking hair systems which are very thin and natural looking from the front, still the maintenance becomes a little difficult for you guys because if the glue melts or if the tape shows, because it's thin, the life of the system is less. So in such cases, just to make it low maintenance and make it look even more natural, what we suggest is the transplant to be done in the front hairline and the temple area. Now, there are 2-3 reasons. That one, like I said, that in non-surgical hair replacement, we cannot cover the temple area. Temple area is the side area that you can see. Now, that is something that we can't cover. Now, what happens is when we do a non-surgical hair replacement, we have to maintain that ratio. If the temple area has receded, my starting point also is slightly behind. So just to get a uniform hairline, what we do is we get the temple area forward, we get the hairline also forward, and then we fix the non-surgical at the back. Now we do a lot of this designing wherein we count the number of strands that we are implanting in the transplanted area and we match it with our non-surgical hair systems. So for example, in the front area, in 1 square inch, we've put 100 strands. We maintain the same density in the non-surgical hair replacement so that when the hair starts growing, it looks uniform and it blends beautifully. Just in case you're considering the transplant and if you are in a similar case, you can basically understand that which are the areas that we'll be doing the transplant and which is the area that we'll be doing the non-surgical hair replacement.